You're not so wicked smart. I got your red card right here. Next on Rugby Wrap-Up, Major League Rugby with John Poland of the New England Free Jacks, Dan Power, Bryan Ray, and Matt McCarthy. Rugby Wrap-Up brought to you in part by The Pig and Whistle, the world's best rugby pub. The Murphy Kennedy Group, founded with the idea that construction can be done better. And Lean and Limber, stretching your way to a healthier lifestyle. Hey, everybody, and welcome back to Rugby Wrap-Up. Thank you once again for joining us. Matt McCarthy in New York City, Dan Power on a golf course in Colorado, I believe. Bryan Ray, he's not in Utah, but he is beholden to the Utah Warriors. He is up in Halifax, Nova Scotia. And, of course, our special guest, the scrum half for New England's Free Jacks, Mr. John Poland. John, let's get right to it because, John, we know you're a busy man going up in front of tribunals and everything else. How the hell did you get off the red card?
So it was first round against LA. It happened. It was basically just an accident. Went for a fly hack on the ball on the ground and ended up.
Wait, I'm not asking you. I'm not asking you about the play. I'm asking you how you appealed and won. Yeah,
so we had two appeals. So the first one didn't go as we had planned, but second time, Aaron Lloyd, a New Zealand lawyer, he represented me and did a great job. And he managed to persuade the judicial officer.
Is it true right Johnny Cochran Jr. and maybe the Kardashian representatives with your team of lawyers? And is it true that it ultimately ran up the ladder where you had to appear in front of Eric Anderson?
No, I can confirm that that's not true.
Okay, we can move on from that, right? All right. I'm not going to fry you any longer. I just I based my pick on you not being in the lineup, and then fortunately was convinced by a Bailu, to change my pick back to New England, and you won anyway. And this we just have to, Dan, 32 zip.
Yeah, I tell you, I'm actually just having images of Johnny Cochran with a shriveled up rugby boot. If the boot does not fit, you must acquit. And having John trying to slide into a 7.5 Adidas, just not working. No, there's two big things that came out is what we saw LA do to Seattle, and New England actually played LA really hard in that game out there, even with the red card. But for you, JP, I think that second half down there was probably more of the Free Jacks we hope to see in 2021. First half was tough, 5-0 into the break. Houston probably gave up a lot of opportunities in that first 40 minutes, but in the second half, you guys really found your rhythm. Is that the style of Free Jacks we can expect moving forward?
I think, the game of the weekend playing Houston, first half we were kind of into gale force wind. Probably didn't seem as strong on the stream, but it was a serious wind into our face, so we kind of just hoped to keep possession for a bit and kind of gain a bit of territory. So we ended up kicking a lot, which is not something we'll be doing every game, but and the two yellows as well. I mean, we need to break that trend. Playing the games with 14 lads on the pitch for a lot of it, but I think we didn't really get into our phase play too much against Houston. I know it was 32-0, but they missed a few kicks and had a few mauls close to the line that they might have finished in other games. But yeah, we hope to get a bit more ball in the next few games and play a bit of exciting rugby and get back to the attack we had last year.
So is there any truth to the rumors that you guys will be changing your names to the New England Yellow Jacks-ettes because of all the yellow cards that you guys are playing with every week? What is what's
no.
guys?
I don't know. I think the yellows this weekend seems a bit harsh.
They're watching. You can't just you gotta, there are laws here.
Yeah, it's the tackles. We've had 3 tackles now for yellows. Just hitting lads too hard, I think. I think we just need to take it a bit easy.
And Brian, when was the last time we saw Sam Windsor, Dan's man crush, miss 2 kicks out of the gate? Ever?
Yeah, I'd have to go back through the annals of MLR history to check that one. Disappointing for sure. I'm sure he's not feeling that great this week. I thought, John's fair, though, that Houston, I don't think the goose egg really was reflective of Houston's effort in that game. They came close to each other. They just couldn't finish at all. But yeah, I think you also have to credit, the Free Jacks defense. Mr. Johnston, their number 7, had 2 enormous turnovers right within the 5-meter line, which is pretty impressive in that first half. So, I definitely have to give the guys some credit. How is it, John, working, in that defensive system with Ryan Martin?
It's great. First week was a bit disappointing. James Willocks is doing defense and Ryan's kind of taking the attack and the overall. But first week was pretty disappointing. I think we were still getting to know each other, and obviously coming out against LA, they're a pretty stacked team, and they we had 40 minutes, I think, with 14 players in the pitch, so we didn't make it easy for ourselves. So this week was real focus on getting our defense right and like building those connections with each other and getting a bit of between the players. So it went really well, and we were happy just to concede no tries. I know they missed 2 kicks, but keeping them out from the line at the end there as well when the game was kind of over. They had the ball on our 5-meter line last play of the game. I think it showed a lot of resilience and character from the lads coming off the bench and stuff to keep them out.
What was said after the LA loss? Were you guys we had down and out? Because obviously whatever happened during the week worked.
Yeah, I think after the LA game, it was our first game together. We were meant to have a preseason game against Old Glory, but that was cancelled. So, a lot of us didn't really we were only together for 4 or 5 weeks with COVID and everything. It's kind of hard to get to know lads too well. So it was very surreal going out playing a game with guys that you're only kind of just getting to know. So that was tough. And as well, a lot of us hadn't played in 12 months, hadn't played any rugby match. So I think there's a lot of nervous energy and a lot of kind of tension. We kind of built the game up, I think, too much almost, so that kind of after 10 minutes, we were 14 points down. It was pretty easy for lads to go into their shell. And I think this week we kind of got into the game early. Lads had that game under their belt and stuff, so it was easier to just get going and get back into it.
Dan, you look very serious right now. Do you have it looks like your mind's racing a mile a minute.
Yeah, I'm just thinking maybe I should have Sam Windsor reach out for some kicking tips, JP. No, we'll drop in the kicking jokes. You're off. You're an innocent man.
It was pretty windy down there. So.
It was windy. I know, yeah. Hey, give us an update on Tara and Rami. When are they getting into the squad?
I'm actually not 100% sure, but I think soon. I think Tara, he's done his visa appointment and stuff. I think he's done his interview only recently, so I think he should be out here in the next week or so. So hopefully we're playing Utah this weekend. I don't think either of them would be here by that or will have done their quarantine. So I think after we have a weekend off and then the following game, they should be hopefully both of them in, if not one of them at least. It's a bit of a balls, the whole visa process. I think a lot of teams are affected by it this year especially. But now we've the majority of our squad here so far, so just looking to kick on with the guys we have, and hopefully those lads will come in and add a bit more once we have a few injuries and lads are getting tired.
Yeah, I feel your pain. I've got a package from China that's been sitting in customs for a month, so I definitely feel your pain there.
If you're in New York City and want to watch some great rugby, have some great food, and some great times, go to the world's best rugby pub, the Pig and Whistle on West 36th Street.
Well, since you mentioned calls, first, I would be remiss if I didn't thank you for not kicking DTH in the head. And it was thankfully a Scotsman. But sorry, Steve Lewis.
He's not here today.
Look, I'm getting tired or frustrated with MLR taking the teeth out of the scrum this season. They've also taken away conversions. It seems like MLR wants to turn into some kind of light version of rugby. You are at the Bermuda 10s. Do you think that Major League Rugby should just drop these, tight forwards altogether and just go straight 10s all the time if they're determined to wreck the game?
It's an interesting one. like the scrum was obviously a massive part of the game. And I saw yesterday in the Austin-San Diego game, Austin had a scrum. They got a penalty on the 5-meter line, which looked like it was going to go over the line, and then had to go to the line, take a maul, and they knocked it on when they could have just went back to the scrum under normal rules. So I'd say they'd be pretty disappointed. But yeah, I think a lot more, like our scrum was pretty strong too and stuff. So I think it will get frustrating, especially when penalty tries are kind of coming, or if you have a particular advantage, you're going to want to go back to your scrum. So it's a bit of a weird one. I think I don't know whether it was because of COVID initially to stop the numbers to like lessen the number of scrums, but yeah, the scrum one I'm not too gone on. I mean, that's what they're getting paid for. That's what they're good at. Forwards, they don't want to be running around too much. And for the purists of the game, I think people love seeing it. And then on the conversion one, yeah, I mean, this weekend, Dougie Fife, he ran under the post, took my 2 points. So,
you know what? With the windy conditions you guys have been playing in, these automatic tries wouldn't be gimmies on the conversions, right? So there's that. So, you know, it's like the two things that happen with these law changes. Number one, they made the scrum reset rule after the rosters were set. So you got all your big fellas on the roster, and then you incorporate the automatic conversion, and we have gale force wins at almost every match. It's like the forces that be are saying, no, you don't do this to these rules, to these laws. But hey, we're innovating here, right? And we got rugby being played. You got Utah coming into your home opener. Utah, surprise team of the league for some, like me, and maybe you got, you know, Brian and Dan. What do you expect from Utah coming in to your home turf?
Yeah, I think we played them last year. They're a pretty tough team. They got some big lads and really attack the gain line and try to get over the gain line. They're a pretty tough team. So yeah, no, and I've seen they've got 10 points from 2 games, which is pretty impressive. And they beat Toronto last weekend, who are obviously a pretty good team. My mate Jason Higgins starting to come out there. And they look like they had a pretty strong team on paper. And then obviously Utah beat them handily enough. So I think Utah will be seriously strong this weekend. So it's going to be an interesting one because we're kind of on the upwards as well, hopefully. After last weekend, we're looking to crack on. And it's our first home game as well. We were meant to have our first home game last year against Houston, funnily enough. And we haven't played at home at all. So I haven't even met any of the home fans really or anything. So it's going to be really good to get a game here in Boston and hopefully see some of the fans. I think Utah will be serious competitors.
Yeah, it's a great facility. It should be a great time. What's the fan COVID situation? How many fans are you allowed in there? Do you know?
I think it's like 1,100 or so. I'm not 100%. No, I could be completely wrong, but
that sounds good.
I think most of the family members or the season ticket holders would hopefully get to the game. So that would be good.
I guarantee it'll be sold out too. They were sold out last year for that first one. And we're not quite there, JP. Don't jinx us. Last year, global pandemic, home opener. We still got, 5 days to go until we get there.
Yeah, COVID test pending.
Yeah.
I was walking to the train station to take a train up there because I was going to call the game. And the text says, season canceled, go home.
Yeah, it was mad. Jeez, thinking back.
Yeah.
I think it's a limited capacity, so I don't think everyone will be able to come. I think just the season ticket holders.
You're going to have fans.
All the
certainly didn't
diehards.
help the AGs or the Sabercats this weekend, but I think the Wicked Smash fans in New England are going to help you guys get over that line.
Hopefully.
Right?
Yeah, that's the plan.
Have a good game this weekend. It's a national game. You guys are on CBS, so don't mess up. And don't tell Amato not to pick anyone in 23 with a difficult last name for me, please.
Yeah, Poisa won Guinevere. That's the hardest one, I think.
No. Get him out. I just want Smith, Poland, Jones, those ones.
Looking forward to the game, the first home game at New England. The guys must be hyped to finally have that game. You know, let's hope the Dan Power curse doesn't come in and strike it off the schedule for you.
It's not my curse. It's Matt McCarthy curse. Is that what
we're talking about? We got the games in. We're getting them all in. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. Anyway, I want to thank Mr. John Poland, a Corkonian, and the folks at Sunday Wells, the Cork Constitution, and University College Cork are going to be smiling after seeing you on this, my friend. So thanks for taking the time. Dziękuję.
No problem. Thanks very much.
Thanks, John. Good luck this weekend. And
Thanks,
no more red
cheers.
cards. But at least if you do get one, you know that you're going to appeal it successfully. So there's that.
Yeah, definitely no more red cards. Definitely not.
And please check out our other segments, including our Major League Rugby show, our Global Rugby Recap, What Are the Odds?, our Major League Rugby Sports Bet show with the Philly Godfather, John Bradshaw Layfield, the WWE legend, and Gifty Bailu, martial law, the Zack Attack. And please sign up for our American Red Cross Rugby Wrap-Up Blood Donor Team.